Hi, my name is Dennis, and I wanted to review a TV from VU. And I just got this television today, just some time back, and this is the Premium UDH, which claims to have the power of pixel light HDR. Let me come into that in just a little while. What I have is a 55-inch Premium UDH LTDB55XT780XWAU3D. Now let's just quickly look at the television and see what is good, bad and ugly about this television. Well, all right, sorry about all the messy wires, but I just try to get it in. This is the television when it is turned off. It's quite sunny over here, but if you notice, the bezel over here is beautiful. It's got this nice grayish brown edge to it. This is around half an inch thick, and it's got a couple of contours around it. And the back of the television is the typical gray. And if I have to actually show you the side panel over here, it's got two HDMI ports, one USB 3.0, two USB 2.0s, earphone jack, the place where you can put your antenna. I don't know who would actually use it, but then surprisingly what they also give you is common interface where you can actually put in conditional access system, a CAS card, and use it. And if I go into the back over here, I also have two. Okay, let me just focus over here. Yeah, there is two more HDMI ports. Both of all the four HDMI ports support 4K, but number 3 and number 4 only support 4K at 30 Hz. It's also got the composite in the component. It's got an optical SPDIF out as well as an Ethernet jack. Now, talking more about the remote. Oh man, this is premium. I don't know if my video can actually capture it, but it's bloody brilliant. The quality of the remote is top notch. When I click the buttons, they feel great. It doesn't feel like a typical cheap remote. It's got a bunch of keys on it. Let me come into that. Okay, yeah. It's got dedicated Netflix and YouTube buttons. Unfortunately, when I actually tried, neither of them actually worked very well. Now let me just go ahead and on the television over here, and this is where the IR sensor is. I'm turning it on. You just darken the place a little bit more, and you will get a view of what the television is. Okay, I have an Android PC from Minix, which is connected to this, and the signal here is a 1080p signal. But if you notice, it's still beautiful. The colors are vibrant, the blacks are black and the whites are white. I mean, for people to if you're really trained, you will realize it's brilliant. Of course, it's nowhere close to an OLED, but it is great. I also have a PS4 Pro hooked up to it, and what I'm planning to do is I turned it on. Let me change the signal. I have renamed my inputs over here, and just tell you, just give it a minute, let the Pro boot up when it comes in. But just what VU claims is this television supports HDR, but I don't think it really supports HDR in its truest form, because of the fact that it only has 415 nits of brightness. Let me see if I can mute this. Okay, the quality of sound is just mediocre. Please hook it up to a bunch of external speakers if you want decent sound. But yes, this is where the magic begins. This is just let me just come back to bring the signal again, and you will notice it says 3840 into 2160p 60 Hz. Now let me go ahead and show you a little bit more of what happens over here. All right, just give me a second. My phone cannot capture the beauty of the colors that is there over here. Let me just show you the actual magic. Let me get rid of the menu by hitting the back button over here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into the settings menu of the PS4 Pro and unmute the sound over here, and yeah, so like I was saying, let me go down into the sound and screen, and let me go to the the video output settings, and voila, guess what? 2160p at RGB, HDR supported. Awesome, that's brilliant. Let me mute this because you know what, the sound of the PS4 is, pretty much annoying me. What happened was, when I started off, I originally did not see this mode. So if you notice, there is a button over here on the remote. Can I focus further? Okay, it's right next to the OK button. What I did was, when I clicked on this, I found additional options which said HDMI 2.0 format. When I clicked on this, it asked me to choose between standard and enhanced format. If originally it's always set to the standard format, and what you would notice is once it is set over here, and if I go back to the PS4 Pro, let me go back over here and look at the resolution. What you will notice is it says the 2160p RGB is unsupported. I was originally concerned because what is crazy about the view menu is when I click on the settings and I go into the picture mode, and irrespective of whatever, let me choose PC and game because I've hooked it up to the PS4 Pro. And what I noticed was there isn't any setting over here within the picture which actually tells the user how to go ahead and enhance or start off the HDR, turn on the HDR. So whether I go in over here which says adaptive contrast, whether it's medium, I would suggest you to set it to medium, because when you set it to high, what happens is the screen gets extremely dark. Set the adaptive contrast to medium, and what you should do is, even if I go into the expert settings, you will notice there is no place where I can actually turn on the HDR. If I go into the RGB mode, it will allow me to look at stuff only in the red, the green and the blue. So ideally, there is no way for you to turn on the HDR unless you click on this particular menu button over here, get to the screen, go to HDMI 2.0 format, and then click on enhanced format, and you will notice that the screen will reset. And voila! Oh man, I did not. Okay, just give me a minute. I'd set it to the RGB blue. I will need to. Okay, what is crazy over here is once you turn on the HDMI CEC, Consumer Electronics Connect mode, you can actually control many of your devices using the same remote that VU actually provides you. So just give me a minute. Let me get back to the regular RGB mode. Okay, fine. What you will notice over here is I'm going to use my VU remote, and remember that is my PS4 Pro. I've got my phone in one hand and the remote on the other hand, and here you go. I'm going to click right, and notice I can actually control the PS4 Pro using the same remote that VU actually provides me. This is a pretty cool feature. And it's getting pretty long, but let me quickly go into the other parts of VU. There is an option over here to actually trigger in the app. So I click on this button. By default it shows me it has I think 12-13 inbuilt apps, from Netflix to YouTube to AccuWeather. The Opera TV is the app store where you go ahead and get in more apps. Surprisingly, most of these apps are pretty crappy. None of them really work well. I've got 2 internet connections I've tried it with, and it is super slow. It doesn't work. It's bad. The screencasting does work very well. Just to show you, let me show you, how the media works. Now I've hooked up a 4 terabyte external hard drive right over here, and this is a USB 3.2, which is connected to the USB 3.2 on the television's backside. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the one over here. And what it does is, I have access to most of my media. What is funny was I used a LG V20 and I recorded a raw 4K video file, and what VU promises is that it would play 4K files natively when I plug in a hard drive, and here is what happens. Let's see if it can play it. Okay, just while we wait, what did happen last time was, it did not really come up. It says, The same thing happened, just hanged. Once it told me file not supported, the next time, yeah, it says file not supported, if you can see. So if you got, you know, uncompressed 4K files, don't expect it to play. But yes, if you got, you know, let's say if you got a 1080p file, let me just play, you know, one of these random 720p files, and just to show you, the 720p when it's enhanced isn't very great. It looks pretty dull. But then, you know, if I am actually going ahead and playing a 1080p file, the enhancement is great, the upscaling is superb. Yeah, it's beautiful. And like I said, you know, it's not the greatest. It does work. I haven't really checked it out with you know, connecting it to a standard set-top box. But yes, given the price point, I picked it up on the Flipkart's Big Billion sale. I got this television for 49,999 rupees. It is a must-buy for somebody who's got a 4K console, either the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, which is going to get released next 2 months from now, and who doesn't want to go in pretty steep, and, you know, still want to go ahead and use this television. In short, definitely I recommend. And, you know, you should give it a shot. Hey, there's one other thing which I actually wanted to show you was, you know, when it's crazy. I don't know why. I believe it's a bug, but when I click on the menu button over here, okay, it isn't working. I don't know why. Okay, there are glitches over here. There are glitches at time to time over here. But then, you know, that's just the way it is. Now, if you look at the settings, these icons look very dated. They are definitely not 4K. I don't even think, you know, it's very low resolution icons. But then, you know, at times when you actually go into certain other menus, let's say I click on apps over here and then click on the settings, it doesn't come in. But sometimes, you know, the menus just change. I don't know why, but once I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But in short, I think it's great. Just showing you, you know, more settings over here. I've chosen location as India. The colors are brilliant. Believe me, my phone is looking at it as blue, but the actual color is, you know, grayish, purplish blue, which is way better. I also told you it also has a Hdmi Cec Control, and if you notice, you know, it shows my PlayStation 4 as the CEC device, which can be controlled. Also, if I go into the advanced setting over here, I have a PVR, which means that, you know, I can hook up a hard drive, and, you know, I can record various different programs based on different times. I can go ahead and, you know, label different inputs over here. As you know, I've just hooked up, you know, only 2 devices. One is my PS4 Pro and my Minix. I will be hooking up more devices once I test. And also, another pretty nice option over here is they do have a setup wizard. So when you turn on the TV for the first time, it's pretty quick, pretty neat, pretty easy. It hooks onto the Wi-Fi or the LAN, both very quickly and very easily. They also have an option which says store mode. So when I click on it, you know, everything gets brighter, and then, you know, on your screen you will actually start to see some kind of, hey, you know, this is surprising because this was a 4K video that I asked them to ask the device to play a while back, and, you know, it seems to be playing. So maybe I take my word back. Yeah, the colors are brilliant. It's very nice. It's amazing. In short, folks, if you don't have a big budget and if you want to have a 4K television which doesn't really take up too much space, 55 inches is a decent size, but I would have probably preferred a 65 or 75 inch. And yeah, my recommendation is, yeah, go for it. Thank you again, and please leave your comments and questions that you have for me, and I will definitely try my best to get back to you. Thank you. Have fun. Bye-bye. Dennis signing off.